Engage. Let the journey begin.
Welcome to Engage
with Trekkie
and Trekker. This is the podcast that boldly explores the fans behind the Star Trek fandom. And today we've got another exciting guest for you. Shannon, welcome to our show.
Welcome, Shannon.
Hey.
We would love for you to take a moment to introduce yourself to us, Shannon.
Okay. I'm Shannon Fauver. I am the first officer of the USS Hunter S. Thompson, which is a fanship. We used to belong to the Federation, but we had some issues. And so we went Maquis. And we do once a month, which is actually tomorrow. Well, I don't know what day you're going to be doing this. But we have a fanship at a brewery. That's my bat lip. I don't know if you can see that at the brewery.
Oh,
Nice.
But so we actually have cards for it, everything. But when I'm not doing that, I'm a lawyer. I do a lot of estate planning. I'm licensed in Kentucky. I'm going to get licensed in Tennessee because it's the same thing for estate planning because it's nice and calm because I've been going back and forth a lot to take care of my dad. So, but and I've also, I'll wait till you ask the questions, I guess, that you're going to ask. Yes, about why.
Well, I do have a follow-up question about the fan club. So how did you get involved with that? And how did those what do you do? I've not joined one. So
Okay. Well, there's two big fan groups. There's Command, which is the one we were in that we had some problems with.
Okay.
We don't want to badmouth them, but we all left.
Sure.
So there's a reason for that. There's another international one, but I looked at their manual and it's 30 pages and I don't want to do that. I have a job. So our fanship is actually just us talking about Star Trek.
Okay.
And my friend she's a Trekkie. She's gone to cons with me before. So we have it at her brewery once a month. But it's funny when I met these people for the ship at a con here in Louisville, and they already named it the USS Hunter S. Thompson. And I think that's very funny because he's a distant cousin of mine. So I'm like, I have to join the ship. So
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's neat. So you mostly get together monthly, you said?
Yes, on the third Monday of the month. Third Monday of the month at Apocalypse Brew Works. And just talk about Star Trek for a couple hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so is that something do you think the other fanships are similar where they meet probably monthly or they have their own kind of...
Well, it depends if they're some are like that. Some are, if they're in Command or the Federation, they're structured. You have to do things. You have minutes and stuff. So.
So it's
It's furious.
minutes to meetings,
Right.
just...
Yeah. When I was the first officer of the actual one with the Command, we actually had to do that kind of stuff.
And are there objectives beyond talking about Star Trek at their meetings then, if they're having meeting minutes?
Well, they also do things like they do charity order. Every ship is supposed to do a charity event kind of thing or have something going on. Whereas I run a free clinic every couple of months anyway, so I don't think I'd have to do
You're
something.
I got that covered. I get that. Okay. Nice. Well, thank you for educating me on that because I've heard of them and I'm pretty sure there's one like that in the Dallas area where I'm at for sure, but I've just never investigated further. There's been a big mystery in my brain about what they do. So
I know some other people in Dallas that come to the con. I can introduce you to them if you haven't met them before.
Awesome. For those in the audience, yes, I first met Shannon at a Star Trek Las Vegas convention the year after Star Trek Discovery came out. And I have, that's one of the things I love about Star Trek in general is that when we come together, we do end up building more and more community. And it's cool because here all these years later, we're still talking.
We've actually hung out outside of Star Trek. So.
Absolutely. So, with all this Star Trek, Trekkie, I'm going to let you ask the first question.
All right. No, you're good. Thanks. Like I said, always getting to know. Shannon, how did you first get introduced to Star Trek?
I don't remember a time that there wasn't Star Trek because I'm 55, so I'm a little bit younger in Star Trek, but every Sunday it was on TV. So every other Sunday when I was not in church, I was at my grandparents' house, I would Star Trek because it was 10 o'clock. And so I watched it just at that point and I just saw that I've always liked science, even as a kid. And it was a better version of the future, which is what, that's what we all want right now. In fact, unfortunately, we're living in that part of before we get of the Third World War. That will be right now in the timeline. So, so other than that,
I keep hoping we'll just somehow change the timeline a little bit from what was predicted and we'll still get to the utopian future.
that'd be great.
Yeah. Mhm.
That would be
Okay,
nice.
so always Star
Um,
Trek. Let's just Star Trek has been.
yeah.
And with that in mind, then out of all the Star Trek that you have and the love and the passion for the show, who
Mm.
would you say is your favorite character overall?
Well, usually I say Picard is the best captain because you're less likely to die.
Fair enough.
But now, Pike is coming up really strongly now. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because like I never liked I don't cartoon is not my thing for my medium, but we all needed lower decks when it came out because of what's going on in the world. Like it was so funny. I'm like I would not think I would have enjoyed that before that. So yeah.
Same. I really, really was looking at like the style of it,
Mhm.
going, this is going to be annoying. I'm not going to like it. It's going to like trash the
Right.
franchise. And instead, it was the most delightful surprise I had watching it. Like,
Well,
love it.
and you had to
Love
watch it
it.
like 3 times to get all the Easter eggs, and you didn't have to, but if you wanted
But
to,
it's
Yeah.
fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yes, absolutely.
absolutely. That
Well,
is great.
Shannon, kind of putting you on the spot here. Out of all of Star Trek, and may I ask, are there any series that you haven't actually seen, just out of curiosity?
Okay, before I randomly got to go to the world premiere of Picard, but before
Okay.
that, 2 years before that, I decided to watch it all of Stardate Order because I missed 2 years when I was in Peace Corps, like when Voyager and Deep Space Nine were on. So
Okay.
about 2 years before that, I started watching Stardate Order,
Okay.
and it took me 2 years to do that. But so no, I've seen all Star Trek, even
Okay.
the animated series, original one, and which I thought was a joke as a kid. I did not know that was a thing. And then I also watched Star Trek Continues, which is fan.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Trekkie,
I
have you
love it.
seen Star Trek
I
Continues?
have to admit, I have not fully I've not watched all of those.
They
So,
are surprisingly good. They're on YouTube. Are
uh-huh.
there other spots to watch it besides YouTube?
I think it's YouTube. But
Okay.
also, when I was in law school, my professor kept saying his wife was on this thing, but I didn't want to watch it in case it was bad. But she's on it, but it's really good actually that she's on it. So she's a counselor. So
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
They just did
Okay.
such a great job with
I
their
did.
sets, with everything. Like I was really impressed and also surprised that Paramount allowed them to do it.
I know. I don't think they would now. Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Mm,
Hmm.
Right.
mm.
Well, Shannon, getting back to the question, out of all of Star Trek that you've watched, is there a particular episode or movie that you would claim as your favorite?
Well, I always watch the Inner Light when it's on because
Okay.
there's that. But right now, I've been watching. If I need something just to make me laugh, I'll watch two of the short treks, The Trouble with Edward
Yeah.
and Runaway, because they just make me laugh so much. Like, because the fanship, we did it last month. A lot of people hadn't seen those, so we showed those too
Sure.
because they're just ridiculous and they're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
The
and
first
can you do
one's the
that?
one where he did the tribbles, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
one where I explain how they make them.
Yes.
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 Yes, and as a lawyer, I had to stop because there's disclaimers at the end about don't do this, blah blah blah, and I had to watch it 3 or 4 times because it's very funny to me.
Right. That's awesome.
Mhm.
That is awesome.
Ooh, I have to follow up with your as a lawyer comment.
Sure.
There's a lot of law episode, well, not a lot, but the legal episodes of within Strange New Worlds and at least TNG that come to mind with Data
Yeah.
and then Una's like
Yeah.
citizenship, so to
Mhm.
speak. Those are like universally liked. Like people put them at the top of their list a lot. And
Mhm.
so I'm curious as a lawyer, how do you see those episodes? Are they enjoying or do you enjoy those or do you kind of go,
No, actually, they do a good job. And the one where in Stranger Worlds when she's on trial, I watched it 3 times. It made me cry every time because
ah, mm,
but they did such a good job. But if you
Right.
go back to the court-martial one in the original series,
oh, yes, there's another one. Yeah.
yeah, where
Hmm.
they have actually law books because I prefer books. I have a Kindle when I travel, but books are a thing. Even as
Right.
a lawyer, most stuff is digital now, but I still like the books. So yeah,
Well, digital books can change on you and you wouldn't know it.
that's right.
I
Or they're
mean that
yeah,
at
you
least
don't
with
actually
the
own
paper
them.
book, there's a record that
Yeah.
can't be changed.
Right.
Yeah. Physical media is so important to us that, because again, I was reading something about that they've changed. There's certain, and not specific to Star Trek, but there's certain shows that have been,
Altered.
broadcast, and then something's changed in it. And most people, unless you've watched it multiple times, you
Mm,
would never pick it up.
right.
But they've changed some little snippet or something of it. whether it be like an actual scene or the dialogue there. So
Right.
this
And
is
maybe
all
they may just clean it up sometimes, but still,
correct.
But there was an
When
episode I was watching that I was started laughing so hard I did not realize I missed the last 5 minutes. It's when Stacey Abrams walked in as a president,
Uh-huh.
and I was laughing so hard because talking to somebody in England, they're like, "What's the big deal?" I'm like, "Let me explain who she is and why
Yeah.
that's so funny."
Right.
And then I had to watch it later. I'm like, "Oh, I totally missed the last 5 minutes because I was like, I guess on it." So,
But that's what's fun is the rewatch and being
yeah.
able to rewatch it. And then sometimes, like we were saying with Lower Deck, sometimes you're picking up more things as you rewatch anyway. And so that's fun. I like when shows are written in such a way that we can rewatch them a lot.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know if they're written in such a way, but I know at least for myself being neurodivergent,
Yeah. It's a
I'm
rewatch.
gonna watch it again and again. And yes, to your point, Trekkie, if any language changes, like if they've done some editing,
Mhm.
my brain picks up on
Yeah.
it right away. I'm like,
Like
wait, they didn't say hello. They did blah blah blah. Whatever it is, it's like
Right.
it didn't sound right.
Right.
And then I go through this. Wait a second, is it me or am I? And then you look online and oh no, that one was they've chopped it or they changed it or whatever it is. So
Exactly.
okay, so your favorites were short treks
Well, for right now,
for right now, and that's fair.
Yes.
there's so much Star Trek. I don't know how many hours now. I know when I did the rewatch before the new shows came out, there were 700 hours. I have no idea what it is now.
I think it is over 1,000 with all of the movies and everything.
With movies.
On the last, I feel like it was on the last cruise in 2027. John Delancey actually made some statement that I think if it's not 1,000, it's just under 1,000 because I know he said something like 980 something. And now that we've got Strange New Worlds, and that was even before the first season conclusion of Starfleet Academy. So I'm pretty close. I'm pretty sure we're close to at least 1,000 hours at this point. So it's a lifetime, my friends.
Yeah.
It's older than all of us.
No doubt. How about this? Isn't actually one of the questions we typically ask because we ask like favorite shows or movies, but what about a series? Do you have a favorite series?
Well, what I'm doing now, some of my friends have decided, not my best friend, she's never seen Star Trek, but one of my other friends he's like, "You watch it all the time. I need to get started." So I usually tell him to start with either Next Generation or Deep Space Nine because it's hard to jump in some of the other ones.
Okay.
And I think those are both good rewatches also because you don't have to know any other stuff.
I personally love TNG and can always rewatch it, but it's funny because somebody was just asking me this week if not knowing any Star Trek, where should I start? And I kind of suggested Strange New World season 1 because I thought, at least with the style, and people are so accustomed to that style of television now, which is very quick paced, and that even though I can geek out on TNG all day long, I'm just a little nervous to put somebody else like towards that first.
Well, yeah. The only thing is, did you rewatch the first episode recently of Strange New Worlds?
With which
The
was
first
the
episode
one
of the
where
first season.
where they've got the bomb that was made from warp technology.
They watched the Discovery go, and then they were able to reverse
And
engineer.
but I just rewatched that a few weeks ago, and that's a rough start because I forgot with that episode. But you also know he knows about he's going to die, and so that might be a little hard to start. And it's also a really rough episode because it makes me upset to see the noose and stuff.
Okay, sure.
So wouldn't be for me. I would think that's not the best because we want a happy Star Trek, not.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I could have said Subspace Rhapsody. Go straight there.
There's a puppet one coming up. You know this.
I've heard that. I'm nervous about that, but
they talked about it at the con this week, or last week.
Okay.
They're all excited about it. So
it's real. Okay.
It is real.
Yeah. I saw a little thing that posted on social media about it, and I immediately, because we're a couple episodes behind at the point of this, filming. But yeah, it's just like Trekker, what we saw the folks with
on
the masks.
cruise?
It's going to be just like that on the cruise this last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody or two people on the cruise had Muppet outfits or cosplay, and they did a really good job. It looked great. Yeah, it really did. But Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
they did a good job with the crossover with the cartoon, better than I thought they would do.
It was,
So hopefully, there are still moments within crossovers like that where I get confused. Like at the very end of the cartoon crossover,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the whole Strange New Worlds cast was in cartoon, and I was like,
No.
I don't know.
Well, I
It
just
makes me wonder: did the Lower Decks characters, do they perceive themselves in animation until they go through the portal?
I don't know because like the episode from last week, they're black and white because it's a visual thing, but because there's some
we
space
don't
anomaly, but like then they were it's like it's disconcerting to them because they're black and white. But at the con last week, they said basically they get to all these ideas and they're like just run with it. So that's why we have a black and white episode. We have a
Okay.
puppet episode. We have a musical episode. I'm like. I don't know when they jumped the shark. Apparently, that was years ago, I guess. So it's whatever you want to do, go do that. Yeah.
They're
Gotcha.
just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Did you watch the scary horror episode?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched all the
that's
Star
kinda-
Trek. I don't like it that one. So
That was kind of one where I was like, and I can watch a lot of scary things. I have a history of watching a lot of horror movies and whatnot, but that one was one where I was like, I may not watch that one too often. Like
I
that
watched
may be a
one-
once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
For Halloween.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I'd rather have the one with the ghost for Halloween. How's that?
Yeah, that yes.
Sub Rosa?
Yeah. I don't know. Trekker,
It's
that's
ridiculous, but it's not scary. So
correct. It's probably going to be, and for completely obviously separate reasons, just like Futurama episode, because I am a cartoon watcher, but a Futurama episode, Jurassic Park, it's the only episode of the entire 12 seasons, I think, that I skip that episode. I may end up skipping this bad boy.
which
So-
one? That
You
one?
know,
Of the horror from
Oh.
season, or excuse me, episode
When
2.
you rewatch.
Yeah, when I rewatch.
That's a good follow-up question. Are there other shows that y'all skip when you're rewatching?
Code of Honor.
Co-
Which, by the way, before streaming
I-
services, they never showed it again. When it was
Yeah.
live,
Yeah.
it was not live, and I would never watch Star Trek again if that would have been the first thing I'd seen because it was so
Yeah.
bad. But no, then until streaming services, nobody knew about it.
Right.
Well, I bought the DVDs when they came out, so
Right.
that is one I don't skip that one when I rewatch. I make fun of it hard while I'm watching it.
Correct.
But there's some that there's one, shoot, I forget the episode title now. I'm going to take away my Star
I just
Trek.
know that one because I know the Code of Honor because it's so bad, and that's what
Oh, it's
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, it's bad. I mean, it's
The one where 7 of 9 accuses somebody of assault, but then that
Oh,
wasn't
yes.
true. That's the one I skip every time. I can't and then I think
Yeah.
like it was tragic at the end, I think. And so I just can't
Yeah. Well,
So there's some that, how about you, Trekkie? Do you
I
skip-
I would say I do watch Code of Honor. I know exactly the Voyager episode where thinking that taking nanoprobes out of her.
Mhm.
I feel like the name of the episode is like Perception or something along those
It
lines.
might be something like that. And the doctor
But-
really convinces her to tell
Yeah,
on this guy, and then
correct.
and it was all
Well-
fake, or
well,
all
it-
false
and-
memories, or
Right, and maybe false memory, but I mean, maybe that's what the name of it. But being that during the time that was coming out, I was actually going to school for therapy, psychology and stuff.
yeah.
And there was a big push at that point of time about, and even before about, therapists, perception
Oh.
of therapists trying to, childhood traumas. Let's just leave it at that.
Uh-huh.
So that kind of resonated with me a little bit, and I've always been like, But I don't skip any episode. Actually, believe it or not, if I don't want to cry, I skip The Visitor, which is one of my absolute
Okay.
favorite.
Mm.
But that's just if I don't want to cry. That particular day, I'll go back and I'll watch it again, that kind of thing, when I'm ready for it. But I can't think of an actual episode that I skip.
If I didn't want to cry, I'd skip The Offspring, Data's
I-
Child.
I don't
That one
know.
always gets me.
Yeah.
I'll feel love for both of us.
Oh yeah.
Like that one always gets me, but I still watch it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm more inclined to skip the Barkley episodes. I'm not a humongous fan of Barkley, even though I know that he was written to be
Annoying.
like the neurodivergent character. There's just, I mean, I'm not a fan of Broccoli. So
Broccoli. Oh no.
The episode where Troy gets pregnant.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the first.
Oh, is that the
episode of
offspring?
season 2.
I messed up then.
Well,
That
okay, I
may
know
be
I know what you meant though. You meant Data's child before. Yeah.
Data's
Data's
child, not
child,
the
yeah.
offspring. The offspring is where she gets pregnant, and
Yeah.
yes,
And Riker's
and 2
mad.
hours later has a kid.
And Riker,
He
yeah,
is! Yeah, he
He
gets
gets mad
mad.
for somebody else
it's been
before him.
broken up. Yeah.
It's like she didn't do anything. Yeah.
Who's the father?
That also had that moment where they're all deciding at a table, all the men at the table are
Yeah,
deciding
what's gonna
whether or
happen.
not she's going to have a child, and like,
How we evolved past that, but apparently not.
Yeah,
Have we?
not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we're in
Well,
an
think about
alternate
that one.
timeline
There's
now.
a lot of episodes, and there's a lot. So maybe there's going to be a couple bad ones in there anyway. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it happens once in a while. Let's just say we'll call them episodes of opportunity.
talk about that. How about that?
That's
Okay.
awesome. Well, Shannon, if in the perfect future, or even right now, obviously they've got a whole bunch of different inventions with Star Trek. If you could have an invention from Star Trek that has not been created at this particular moment, what would be the invention you would want created and why?
You mean the one on Star Trek? Not.
Mhm.
Well, I would be. I lost what's now it's called. This is it is a morning. The replicator, because then
Okay.
people would not be hungry. That's what comes down. Everybody would have
Mhm.
food. That'd be fine.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
That's the most utopian thing I could think of anyway, because then everybody would be fine for that.
Correct.
Where does the matter come from that's stored as energy and then comes out as different matter in a
Well,
replicator?
According
Do they-
to Discovery,
Yeah.
in Discovery, when they're in 1,000 years in the future, like you realize you're eating poop basically because an apple.
Okay.
And first, like, it's like, well, it's waste. So whatever waste it is. So,
I had always pictured as a kid that there might be some like deserts where they're just like converting sand into energy. Like, we got a lot of sand here, let's just turn it into energy and then we can make it into stuff.
well, I can make it into anything, so that makes sense. So, but you wouldn't waste anything.
Human
so,
waste would make sense, so you got to get it used,
Right.
Yeah.
So
Are
something
you a
that
fan
already-
in real world technology of water recycling?
I am, yes.
Mhm.
Peace
Mhm.
Corps volunteer, remember? So, yes, water is the thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you would be, yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So replicator, that makes sense. That makes a
Mhm.
lot of sense. Replicator. I've been thinking more and more recently about programmable matter and how
That was
interesting
very
that would
cool.
be too, but would not fix world problems like a replicator could. So
No, because then you can make weapons with it. So there's that.
right, yeah, the ones that go
Yeah,
around
right.
your whole quadrant of space and maybe could blow you up.
It was very cool. Like when they had the first couple episodes, I'm like, that is awesome. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the 3D like
Mhm.
operation boards and whatnot. Like all of a sudden it's coming up. It's like neat. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a neat.
you just have to know where it goes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Galaxy Quest, where he knows how to fly the ship supposedly, and they have
Right.
because they showed that at the con again. That's the first time I've seen it on screen, not on TV. So
Okay.
a lot of fun. So,
Oh, okay. Nice.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's one of the best Star Trek movies ever.
when people ask my favorite Star Trek movie, I always say Galaxy Quest, and a lot of them get bent out of shape. I'm like, but it's an homage to the show. I mean, there's no way
Mhm.
around that.
Oh, it's in our realm for sure. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Whereas the
Mhm.
Orville's a little bit different. I think that's more like people getting drunk and playing on the ship. That's different.
Right.
I didn't find the Orville to have the same heart as Galaxy Quest. I mean, it was humorous,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I felt like it was trying to be something too much.
Well, every
And
other
I just
episode.
kinda, but
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest hit all the right notes for me. In fact, if that was a TV show, I'd watch it too, but Mhm.
I was
Which
just
at one
telling
point
Chuck
Huh?
I was just saying, I was just telling you the other day. Well, I guess this was couple weeks ago now. I was waiting for somebody to say the Galaxy Quest was their favorite
That's nice.
movie.
We
I mean,
have a winner.
we do have a winner because again, a lot of people do forget about that. But I have to say, I'm really glad that at Star Trek Las Vegas that they actually show that because they
I
showed
know.
it once on the cruise and stuff, and not enough people actually. I mean, I guess if there was anything, that was the very first Star Trek that I ever got my mom into, and she loves that movie. We watch that at least once a year. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So,
Oh,
I
Had
mean,
it
it's
not been for
fun.
Galaxy Quest, I never would have wanted to go to a Star Trek convention.
really?
Correct.
Like that was what, and it's ironic too because Tim Allen's character gets made fun of while he's going to the bathroom by somebody like, look at all these freaks. And yet in my mind, I was like, yes, look at all the freaks. Oh, I can't wait. I gotta go.
Was it
It was
this?
so
I
cute.
think.
I know, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I grabbed Thor's hammer. Yeah.
I know I did this all the time at the
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
Her
fun.
universal translator's broken. Yeah, that show's fun. That's great. And there's even now Rainn Wilson was in it, and
Mhm.
he's now been in Star Trek
Yes.
Discovery.
And he came a few years ago. It was his first time at the con, and he said he was about to quit working, and he got that gig. Like that was, and then he got that, and that was so funny because he
Oh,
came that
wow.
year, and people were dressed up as the Talaxians. If that's not right, what's the creatures?
Oh, I don't remember
Anyway,
the.
they're dressed up like that. There's a
Okay.
couple that always
Talking
does couple costumes, and it took a couple years. I didn't recognize them as without the costumes, but I knew who they were, because I kept seeing it
Right.
every time. And now I've seen them separately, but it's like because it always in like they were couple costumes, and one they were those aliens and doing the whole thing because Rainn Wilson was
Nice.
their whole thing. So
Aliens as the human form, or aliens as the more
ones
octopus
that
type
look like
form?
us when they have their little
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, here's a question we like to ask our guests.
Okay.
Star Trek has moments that when you're watching it just kind of blow your mind.
Mhm.
When I say that, what kind of comes to mind as an episode that's done that for you, or a movie?
I don't know. Like I said, the program manual was just really cool because part of the Star Trek thing is the science in it.
Mhm.
And some of them just make you, like I said, when it's a trial, it made me cry, every time I've seen it. So there's just things that touch me. But also is the reason that I became a lawyer is to help people, to make the world a better place. Is what you're supposed to do, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if that
Nice.
actually answers your question, but
No. Kind of answer the follow-up question is, how has Star Trek shaped your life/worldview? 'Cause I was going to ask you, being a lawyer, um, having that, and then of course, your volunteer work with Peace Corps. Um, do you find being a fan of Star Trek has helped you be able to network, and do you have almost like that? The word is eluding me right now. Almost that utopian viewpoint or of what the world can be like.
I have to. That's how I do. Sometimes I get a little like, sometimes I have to disconnect a little bit. But
Mhm.
also, 5 years ago I had a stroke, so a lot of stuff
Okay.
doesn't bother me anymore anyway. But I've always basically I wake up and I'm a generally happy person anyway.
Mm.
And since then I'm like, and I ran for office 4 years ago. Jason
Mhm.
Trekker
Yeah.
knew that. But so it's funny because people are like, oh, you shouldn't tell people you're a Trekkie. I'm like, why? I'm like, I'm a nerd. I don't care. Well, people want to know who you are anyway if they're going to talk to you. So it's like, no, I'm
Yes.
fine. If they don't like it, that's fine. The first couple times I went to a con, though, I didn't tell the judges I was going because something came up and I didn't want it because I was a new
Mhm.
lawyer, didn't know how to handle it. Now, like,
Mm.
oh, we want to schedule it that week. No, I'm sorry. I want a Star Trek convention. Like, okay. And just, they all know. It's like,
Right.
no big deal. Yeah. Sometimes I'll wear a con badge in court to see if anybody catches it.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Mhm.
I also read a court bag that I found out how many judges are Trekkies because they recognize it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
Mm.
It is a nice little like signal, so to
Mhm.
speak, to one another. I've done that where we've had like everybody wear their favorite sports jersey to work, and I've come in my Starfleet outfit. Like, this is my sport. Like,
I have a Starfleet hockey jersey, which I wore this last week, and I put my name on the back of it. So
nice,
Nice.
nice.
on it, like where I guess I actually fought. I don't know if I had matches in. Of course, I think ice hockey should have bet lifts for Star Trek, but
I like
would
that.
be-
I like your thought
oh.
process. What's your team, Shannon? What's your actual hockey team? Just
oh,
curious.
it doesn't. I have it. It just has the icon thing.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
It's
just
the
the
Star
icon on it.
Trek
Anyway.
hockey team.
You're right. That's because I was thinking, if you ever have that again, Trekker, the Niners baseball
Yes,
uniform.
but one of my patches is
that's true.
the United Federation of Planets on it. So yeah,
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice, nice.
yeah. Now, but mine was not as cool as the tardigrade, as somebody
Yeah.
would. That was so fun. Which is why I had to talk to you all because you were just hysterical. So
That was such a passion of love. We did not even know there was a costume contest at Las Vegas. We did not know that. We just wanted to come and cosplay, and we were watching Star Trek Discovery, and Ripper the Tardigrade was just the biggest on-screen presence to me on that. And we just happened to figure out like a way in which we could make that work.
Mhm.
And so we sat there stitching that thing together for probably a couple months before Las Vegas. And when we got there, it probably was you. Somebody told us, hey, there's a costume contest. You should enter. So we were like, oh, okay, I guess so. Not expecting to win anything. And then we ended up winning something. So
Yeah.
that was a surprise. Like, and I've never done cosplay since. No, I'm just kidding. We've sort of, but not, we haven't built anything like that since.
Yeah, I make
I
my
like
own
to retire
costumes.
on top.
Yeah, I make my own outfits because that way I don't have to stay in costume for whatever or character all day. So I make my own stuff because
That's
it's
smart.
easier for me.
Yeah.
I've also remembered, so at Star Trek conventions or on the Star Trek cruise, there's these inevitable moments of connection and like surprise
Mhm.
because we are a really interesting community filled with people with diverse talents, diverse backgrounds, all sorts of things. And what's coming to mind right now, Shannon, is there's one time when you and I both experienced it, but I was so overwhelmed with the moment that I didn't even recognize there was someone next to me, you, that I knew until after they were done. And I'm curious if you remember, there was this woman playing music on a saw, like a saw for cutting wood, and
Right.
she was just sitting, yes, in the hallway of the convention, just playing the most gorgeous music. And I felt like I was in a Star Trek episode because they're always playing instruments, and then you were right there, and I was like, oh my goodness, Shannon, what a wonderful moment.
That's what you turned around to me and said, okay, we're gonna be friends now because I got video. I have a video somewhere. But yeah, it was beautiful.
It was so gorgeous. Yes. And I'm always amazed at just everybody that comes, and some are amazing costume designers and they've done all this, but some are musicians, and some, like on the Star Trek cruise, they have, there's musicians that have turned episodes like The Inner Light. No, was it The Inner Light?
Mm-hmm.
This last
there's
year.
one of them. Mm.
And then it was Darmok and Jalad before that. And they make these musical, how do you call that? A musical interpretation of the episode?
Sure. Yeah.
And it's gorgeous. Like the Darmok and Jalad one especially was like, I'm not even a huge fan of like, well, I don't know how you say that, like classical music necessarily, but it made me want to be. Like, it was so well done. And so that there's just so much coolness within our community and creativity. I'm amazed. Speaking of creativity, if you had a magic wand and can make a brand new Star Trek show, what would you come up with?
Well, do you want to? Okay.
Yes.
So I had an idea for a show. Okay. And as a lawyer, you only talk, if somebody has a lawyer, you have to talk to them. I sent Alex Kurtzman, this would have been 5 years ago. I sent a letter to Alex Kurtzman's lawyer. I got a cease-and-desist letter from them. Which is
hold on, let me get my tea.
Okay, I know. Which is even better because I went to the car premiere 2 weeks later, and if I realized he was right behind me, I would have brought it with me to sign it. So I took it this year and had Terry Metalis want to see it. So he's like, "That's ridiculous." I'm like, "I know that." So, but that's fine because they're not going to take my idea anyway. I figured that they should have a Star Trek legal division or a show like that.
Yes.
So it's not going to use my idea anyway. Now I can say that. So, because I got a cease and desist letter again, and again, Terry Metalis thought it was really funny, and it was ridiculous because all I did is I offered. I didn't say what it was. I have an idea. I'm not stupid. I did not send it. And the cease and desist letter, which is ridiculous. But as a lawyer, I'm like, that's the funniest thing ever. But Terry
That is
Metalis
a
was like, you
really
should
weird
totally post it on
response.
social media. But it's like, it's silly.
What is the benefit of sending a cease and desist letter from their point of view?
Well, I guess they're afraid because people have multiple ideas, and somebody is like, I gave you the idea, and they'll sue them because somebody else did it. So I think that's why they don't take ideas from anybody anymore. They have to be in-house now. So.
Oh.
Well,
doesn't
how
mean
do
you're
you
going to knock
get
it out
to
of
the
the idea.
in-house so you can tell them good ideas? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of ideas out there. We've heard a lot on this show, like from cooking shows to just lots of things, like this old ship, like fixing things up, and so many would be awesome. But a legal one, I could really see that one because there would be so many different legal arguments to be made, especially in a federation the size of the Alpha Quadrant.
Well, you should appreciate this. When I did my rewatch, my youngest does not like Star Trek, but he was around. So
Okay.
there's an episode in Enterprise when Archer was basically took somebody's ship and they were going to die. And I'm like, this is not very Federation-y. My kid's like, there's no Federation yet, Mom. I'm like,
it's true. And he called you out on that one.
Yeah. Like, well, you don't even watch Star Trek and you know this because I'm like, fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. Well, they were in the Expanse. There's no rules in the Expanse.
To me, I mean, just because people see you not commit a crime doesn't mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't do things just because you can't.
Right.
Yes.
I agree.
No, I would totally be down.
Yes. Oh, would you like to know the most Star Trek thing I've ever seen in person?
Ooh,
yes.
Please.
So it will be like 2019. As at Cedars-Sinai, my dad was having his first heart surgery, but this guy had a backpack and I could hear a pump. So I'm like, okay, I have to ask. And he's like, it's a heart-lung machine. I'm like, that is the most Star Trek thing I've ever seen in my life. He's just wearing a heart-lung machine.
Wow. As like a backpack.
He has a backpack.
Huh.
Yeah, now my dad is a Borg because he has a mechanical heart that's outside his body. And so he wears giant batteries all day and you plug them in the wall at night. It took him a year to recognize the fact he's a Borg. He will take it now. It's like, I'm a Borg now. So. I mean, you're a Borg. You wear battery. You have to plug in at night. Then you're Borg, right? That's what it is.
He needs to mess with you and respond, we are Borg.
Yeah, right?
Well, one of his best friend actually sued Starbucks, said there's a New York Times article about that resistance is not futile because they sued Starbucks and did not have the coffee shop in their neighborhoods. So they think that's funny too. Yeah.
Wow.
There's Trekkies everywhere. You know that.
They're everywhere. Yeah, I'm really glad that there's probably still the stigma in some people's noodles about it, but I'm glad that, being a nerd, as you mentioned before, Shannon, you're a nerd, I'm a nerd. I mean, or geek, whatever you want to call it, that
I'll
kind
take
of
both words. I don't care.
I mean, right. I own them both proudly, but I mean, it's not that we're the basement dwellers, and our parents.
There are a few of those though, but
and there are still, and if you are one,
we're okay with them too. IDIC.
Okay, but it's I mean.
Trekkie's always hating on the basement dwellers, though.
Well, the funny thing is before I bought my house, when my mom moved back from overseas and I was living in her house, I was down in the basement. So that was
it's a little personal for you. That's why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because all my life, I was the acne-ridden kid, with the buck teeth. I mean, it just, but still wore that, proudly. I'm really sad that I don't have my life-size cutout stand up of Captain Kirk that I got when I was, again living. I used to place it down in the laundry room area, and it used to scare the hell out of us every time we walked down, and just caught a glimpse out of it with our peripherals. So, but
I love cutouts like that. They are fun for that, and they can be spooky if you change them around, put them behind a door, so somebody opens the door, and then it's just there. Yeah,
we had a couple that were my kids, and they freaked me out every time I saw them. But now they're actually in arcade here. And they go to the cruise with you. The people that have the arcade here and a bar here.
Oh, nice!
It's
nice.
he has a bar and arcade in Louisville, but so I gave him a lot of stuff like that, the cutouts and stuff. So he's a bunch of Star Trek stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's
very
awesome.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to get an intro from you so we can have him on
Yeah.
the show or something. And
Sure.
because that sounds like an interesting venture to have an arcade. Wow.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of Star Trek cutouts around all the place. And I had a bunch of the plates. So he bought the plates because I was redoing my house.
Fun.
So they're going to making frames for each of them. So
Neat. Wow. So it's a Star Trek like place.
well, they have a bunch of other stuff too, but he's
Okay, so it's other kind of fandoms
yeah, but
as
there's
well.
every Star Trek pinball machine you've ever seen is there. So that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, and I love the pinball.
I know, me
Pinballs are my
too.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Louisville, and so we can take you.
Okay. Got a road trip I need to do.
Right.
I know it's far away for you. I don't know about you, Trekkie. I know how far away you are, Trevor. So.
Oh, I'm not in Colorado, so
Okay,
I'm
farther away.
even further. Yeah. But
We're
for
covering a good portion of the
pinball-
nation today.
Yeah.
You're alpha, I'm beta, you're gamma quadrants of the
Yep.
nation. So
I'll go down Delta Quadrant. I don't know where they are. So
Yeah.
I mean, Europe, I guess. So.
okay. Nice.
You have another question?
Well, I was just looking. Actually, this is just kind of a one-off type of thing. When the world gets like too overwhelming, we've kind of talked about it. We're all living the experience. Is there? I mean, and you had mentioned like the Inner Light. You watch that when it comes on. Is there a particular episode that is your low stress comfort watch from Star Trek?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Like I said, the ones that make me laugh a lot, there's those.
Mhm.
And actually, almost anything with Data, because he just like the human condition is always a good thing to watch because how he's experienced humanity. Because people and said some people are neurodivergent. By the way, I did not realize I was neurodivergent until recently, which people find very funny. Like you have ADD, I'm like, oh yeah, that's that. But because I didn't think about it like that. But because you have to. Everybody's different, and people respond differently. But you have to accept that. In that sense, I've always had ADD, though I knew that people react differently, but I didn't realize that was a neurodivergent thing.
Mhm.
You don't judge people; you just see how they're reacting to things.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, it's been the last couple of years, and I'm not officially diagnosed, but my ex actually said something to me, and she goes, "Yeah, you know that you are, right?" And I said, "No, I didn't," But it honestly, once she said it the world just opened up. Things made so much more sense, and I can't speak for others, but I felt a little more comfortable because I understood kind of where my little quirks, for lack of a better word, were coming from. So
Did you say quark? No, I'm just
yeah, I
kidding.
know, right?
Sorry, my Star Trek ears heard it.
Yeah, but now the mega particles were fine. Everything else is back, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So throwing that out, and we'll jump probably to our rapid fire questions. The omega particles. Would you have destroyed it, or would you have let it come to complete whatever it needed to do and harness that energy?
I think the ability that we could blow up everything, basically, it would be not worth the risk. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I've been listening to a different the Tempest that podcast thing, and they're at that part right now
Mhm.
because I met them at a different con. So
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm listening to their stuff, and but yeah, I don't. The mega particle is bad. I understand that
Okay.
concept, but it's not like the replicator, which is just food.
Yeah.
Right.
But the omega particle, when that one came out, did that not resonate with y'all as Galaxy Quest?
Mhm.
Okay, so I wasn't alone on that.
No, it's supposed to
And
be.
so a part of me, because with Galaxy Quest, that could have destroyed everything, or it can undo a couple seconds of time and rewrite it. Do we fully know what Omega can do, or is it still somewhat a mystery?
I think it's based on that, and
it came
was
up again, didn't it?
Discovery,
It wasn't
right?
just once.
Yeah, no, it was Voyager. It was Voyager, and then I feel like it was it Discovery or Strange New Worlds?
It was one of those two because it was that timeline.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now I
Now
can't
I'm gonna
remember.
have to go back and watch again.
I'll
but
have to give up my Star Trek card.
I
No,
know.
it's okay.
Yeah,
There's too much. There's over 1,000 hours. You cannot remember everything. Okay, it's fine. We're
ever
not that
all
Oh,
kind.
of
it's all in there somewhere. It just
Yeah.
comes up at
It does
different
come back
times.
later, but
Yeah.
like I never knew
Yeah.
the name of most of the episodes, but I know the one. Yeah, I know what they are. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
at 1:30 in the morning, all of a sudden, bling, a little fact will pop to the top of my head. I'm like, oh, now I know it.
It's fine. It's there. It just comes back.
It's there. It's there. Just,
Yeah.
yeah. There's this little thing called neural pruning, which the
Mm.
autistic and ADHD brains are less good at doing. So we don't prune off old information the way that most brains do. So like when you learn how to like tie your shoes,
Mm.
whatever like little thing you might have learned like around the loop and through the whatever like that, you don't ever get rid of it even though you've learned how to tie your shoe.
I
so to
remember learning
speak.
how to tie my shoe. So there's. I
Yeah.
didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Neural pruning. Yes.
Well, actually, I've had it since the stroke. I'm not like I said, stuff doesn't bother me as much anymore. But I also realized that we've said it's just like a card catalog. I can access almost all the memories. They're just not there unless I go, and I can think, yeah. Otherwise, it's not there. But it
Yeah.
is there, which is kind of cool.
Right.
It's just
Filed.
odd to access at
Right,
times.
because I don't need it if it doesn't bother me. Like the everybody's got trauma, but I don't act unless somebody asks me something about it. It's not there, and it's fine. Everything's fine.
Right.
Everything's good. It's like a reset.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, if all things can happen with a stroke, that's not bad at all. So
I'm right. Yeah, I was just Alzheimer's runs in the family, and my uncle and I and my mother were just having this conversation the other day that I'm hitting the same like things that my great grandmother did that had it, and I was like, it's having the memory that I have. I mean, it's horrible. I'm sad that anybody ever has to experience that, both from the person who succumbs to it and the family members. But it will be interesting on how it really impacts, how it really does impact, because I have such a memory right now. And like I said, I know it impacts more of the short-term memory. So I'll probably drive myself crazy not being able to recall everything that I need. You know what I mean? So
Oh
I
my
think
goodness. I can just picture like people like us being in
Yeah.
like a home and all we're talking about is Star Trek episodes because it's what is still in our brain. And like, what'd you eat for breakfast? I don't recall, but I remember that
the inner light.
John-Luc Picard loves his Earl Grey.
Hot.
Family's coffee. Yeah, the whole day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, goodness.
But I remember there's coffee in that nebula.
Right.
Yeah.
I almost wore that shirt today, actually, Trucker.
Nice. Nice.
I'm feeling in my teens. We're gonna do some Starfleet Academy going on. So
I went to the baseball game 2 nights ago, and this guy was walking by. This shirt that said Trekker. Okay, I've never seen that just walking around. So I'm like, hey, we have a fanship, and usually I have cards on me, but I did not because I was slacking. Usually at least one on me. And so when I told him, so he'd probably come on Monday. He was so excited. So I've never seen me just walking around in a shirt that said that. So
Nice.
Yeah,
And
that
it was Trekker.
Trekker, yeah.
It seems like very few Star Trek fans refer to themselves as Trekker, mostly refer to Trekkie.
I don't care. But I'm just a Trekkie or a Trekker or whatever. I don't care. I'm a nerd. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care either. I would have geeked out either way if I saw.
Yeah.
I would have been like, "Ooh, Trekkie."
But the person is like, they're probably not usually get that reaction on either. It's like, hey.
Right.
That's
awesome.
cool. Yeah, I love that, and being able to signal out to other people when you're walking around. It's like I wave to everybody like this, but I don't even think about it anymore. So the
I
ones
did
that
it
are
during
fans
COVID.
wave back.
Well, during
Yeah.
COVID,
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. People like they get it or not, and that's fine.
Yeah. It's funny, Trekker, that you say that, because even when I hold my hand, to wave, it just automatically does the Vulcan salute.
I don't even think like
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
to.
you don't-
I have to
that's-
really think
that's
about
like-
it to pull
yeah.
them back out of it.
Yeah, but those are
actually.
the trick happens.
That's exactly what I do.
That's how I dance now too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's the white
Or I
man
do like this.
Yes.
Probably because I dance more like on the Star Trek cruise, and so it's a little bit more. But now when I'm out and about in real environments dancing, I also find myself still, throwing out those Vulcan hands.
That's so funny.
That's right.
Awesome.
Somebody's going to help me take down my deck later today because I'm getting a new deck and roof and stuff. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I guess by the way, lawyers like to do things physically sometimes because we don't do a lot of physical stuff. So the lawyers coming helpful. We're demoing my deck and stuff. So
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Well,
because
that's very
otherwise you don't
cool.
see what we do all day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not a lower deck, but a no deck. Or a
Ah,
rebus.
By the way, that's the one that said he doesn't start watching because it's such part of my life. I'm like, that's funny because my best friend doesn't do that, but you're one of my best friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm. All right. I think
Cool.
we're ready for
Yep.
Hey, Rebel,
pew, 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 pew. Phaser fire. Trekkie, do you want to give some and we can alternate?
Yeah, we could do that for sure.
All
All right. Shannon, would you rather have Neelix cook all of your meals or Dr. Pulaski do all of your physicals?
Dr. Pulaski.
Okay.
Okay. How often are you getting physicals?
Yeah.
Is it equivalent to all the meals?
Neelix made the whole ship sick, so I don't know about that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the
The
Neelix
cheese.
cheese. I
Yes,
forgot about
I love
that.
cheese, but I don't want, he's going to make the ship
Not
sick.
his.
Yeah.
Okay.
And truly, how many times can you eat what is it? Larola? Why can't I say that? The root stew.
Yeah, that he made
Oh,
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he made it constantly.
Yeah.
So
It's like gruel. So no, I can't
yeah,
think so.
right.
Yep. Would you rather travel by transwarp or mycelial network?
I still on network because it's just cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over there.
Mm-hmm.
And you might see
Would you-
Ripper. That'd be cool.
Oh yes, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have a conversation with Data about art or Spock about logic?
Oh, Data because it's there's not the right answer. It's all subjective.
Okay.
Mm.
I
Oh,
like
by
that.
the way, there's a Fauvism art thing when he was painting, and that's actually my family's last name, which is an art style apparently.
Oh,
Fauvism.
I looked it up after that because I knew part of it, but I'm like, wow. And it was also a trivia question on Trivial Jeopardy, the same answer. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to look that more.
Yeah.
Would you rather serve on a star base or a starship?
Starship.
Okay. Going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, kind of following up on that, would you rather be part of the inner core planets of the Federation or on like closer to like demilitarized zones or neutral zones? So out on the
Like the
front.
Maquis?
Yeah.
Well, I'm already
yeah,
in the
on the edge of Federation space.
I think I would rather be there because to do more learning,
Okay.
Mm.
exploring new worlds and new civilizations and boldly going where no one's gone before.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
Sorry, that was
Mhm.
too easy.
If you were to wake up as an alien species, would you rather wake up as a Romulan or a Klingon?
Klingon. I have a bat lift. Yeah.
Okay.
I full size one.
And if you're a lawyer as a Klingon, you get to hold that ball, right? No, that's a judge. I'm sorry.
That's
That's okay.
judge.
I ran for judge, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you rather be a Soon type android or a hologram with a mobile emitter?
I think I'd rather have a mobile mirror so I could just go every place.
Okay.
I think I'm on a podcast going. One of my kids' friends is here, so
Nice,
gotcha.
nice. Mhm.
now
And how about
her mom's a Trekkie too. She's a
nice,
Okay.
nice, very cool. How about would you? Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, would you rather roll up like be on Kirk's Enterprise or Pike's Enterprise, like as your captain?
Pike
Pike.
because it's Anson Mount and he's awesome.
Yeah. I love me some Anson Mount. Yes.
Mhm.
All right. So Shannon, this is not one that we have asked in the past, but I'm kind of curious on your take based on your background and such. Leave Tuvok as is or separate? I know. Normally we don't try to do this.
It's funny because I have people like, oh, that's already settled. I'm like, really? Ask the question.
Yeah.
I would leave him because he is a sentient being and it's his choice. Because he didn't have an option to be born basically, and so you're talking about killing him. So I would leave him as he is, but yeah, that's because You have to have some agency, and you're taking away his agency.
I don't understand why they couldn't have transport cloned him like they did, Riker and Thomas Riker. A transporter accident so they could duplicate him and then separate one of them.
Well, that
Then
makes
we
sense.
could have had a happy medium.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be the show though. They have to have an answer too.
Okay, and just for the sake, I mean, because I could go both ways on this personally, because you've got limited resources while you're out, and you don't have the, and again, it's Neelix but to the same argument as you just had, Shannon. In essence, you're losing Tuvok and you're losing Neelix for the one combined. So, I mean, that to me is almost, splitting the baby in half type of situation.
Well, they have all each other's memories though, so they can do both jobs. So I don't see the problem. Yeah, because they didn't choose for that to happen as an accident. But you're talking about coming a new being, and if it had been right away, that would have been different. But it was
right. No, they waited.
After how long it went on, but it's like how long it went on. Yeah.
Could you imagine when Tuvix gets back and he's still married to Tuvok's wife? I can't remember. I want to call her T'Pol, but I don't believe that was her name.
That's Fox.
But yeah, but could you imagine Tuvok's going back and and being like a Vulcan? But I wonder if he would be ostracized because he was not a Vulcan and followed that.
Some of them don't recognize people that from other races, and
well, even Spock had a hard time growing up because he was half human. So
correct.
By the way, the 4.5 Vulcans episode. I'm like, just because they're Vulcans makes them racist? Because that was my whole thing. The whole episode, I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well,
we saw that in Enterprise. We saw the I mean, and again, they are more advanced at the time of like Enterprise. But I noticed that a lot with how the Vulcans have been portrayed, is that they almost seem like or act like they are the superior species, so to speak.
Well, and it's funny because until the episode on Enterprise where they uncovered Sirach's Katra and reintroduced it to Vulcan society, it was a different society. It was. And I kind of like that in the sense because it shows they weren't always this, because originally it was like, oh, they're the almost like the better race, like they're better than us because they got warp drive and they seem calmer and whatnot. But what we see is that even within their own journey, they've gone through and they haven't been squeaky clean, like it changed a lot. And it's interesting how one inflection point, one introduction of here's our ideals, and then they recentering around them, how much that could change a generation. Because by Spock's time, they are not ostracizing those that do mind melds or, embrace their telepathic abilities, but they sure were 100 years before that. Like, there was a lot of change. To me, it was interesting because at first on Enterprise, I didn't like that they were displaying Vulcans like that. But then I got accustomed to them doing that. And then when they got to that episode, I was like, oh, okay, I like that they've at least now explained why the ones we're used to aren't acting the same way. But
well, just this conversation makes me go back and think how much throughout all of Star Trek that there's still the bigotry for different races. I mean, just sitting there thinking back on some of the first episodes of Star Trek itself, where Kirk pretty much dismissed what Spock had to say because, or if it wasn't Kirk necessarily, then it was definitely McCoy, you
green-blooded Vulcan.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, I mean, and we all, what I mean? So,
or like Tom Paris saying something, she's acting worse than a Ferengi.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, and again, just I love Deep Space Nine. That is currently my favorite series. But going back and as Lower Deck said, Miles O'Brien is probably one of the most important characters in Star Trek. That man was a pure out racist towards the Cardassians. I never would have expected, and probably because of the make believe type of, but how many times did he call a Cardassian Cardi type of thing? Anyway, sorry, we're venturing
Cardi,
and veering and
yeah.
stuff, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
and it does show how people can grow. But I guess even though we have this idealized version of Star Trek future in society, this utopian, there's still still learning and growth opportunities, as we mentioned before. So I mean, we got a long way to go, but at least I guess we're on the right path. So
At least we also see characters growing beyond that, because Kirk went through quite the ordeal having his son killed by a Klingon.
yeah,
And then as far as he had recording, or somebody had recorded him saying, "I'll never trust the Klingons."
Right.
And yet by the end of Star Trek 6, he was championing the peace efforts
Right.
for it. So at least we do see the growth on that, and not just the stuck in the past.
yeah,
Which is good, because even in a utopia, we still have to learn and grow, and we can't just be at this perfect status and have nowhere to go, or life would be uninteresting. So
Right.
hopefully, there's still growth there.
Yes.
This is the
Agreed.
slowest rapid fire questioning we've ever
Sorry,
asked,
why-
by
I
the
don't
way.
know. Yeah, I started talking about the four and a half Vulcans and stuff. Sorry.
no, you're all like it. And it's stuff that everybody knocks code of honor, but I mean, and yes, for what code of honor
For
is
good reasons.
for good reasons, absolutely. But I mean, there's a lot of different, I mean, again, for different reasons, but things that keep getting brought up within the Star Trek universe. I mean, I thinking through this conversation, 7 of 9, the Borg, again, horrible organization, civil, and just how 7 of 9 had to somewhat overcome that through Voyager, and then she became a trusted member and stuff like that. I mean, I guess it shows that our capacity, and it's not just humans. I know we focus a lot of the times on humans in these shows, but that we're not just stagnant, that we do have the ability and I guess the desire to grow, or at least most of us do. So I mean, again, positive there, leaving it on a positive note. So
Yeah.
It's all good.
but
We do have a final question to the phaser fire.
Okay.
Do you consider yourself a Trekkie or a Trekker?
That's not fair. I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings.
No, you won't.
I mean, I usually say Trekkie, but just because it's more colloquial, but I'm fine with either one of them. I've been called both of them. It doesn't matter either. So.
You didn't answer the correct, so we're going to end this conversation now.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Bye. We always talk about it. You're out.
No, we just ask it because out of fun.
Yeah.
That was something when we were on the cruise, we were talking about it, and I was like, "I'm a Trekker. She's a Trekkie." I was like, "That's we don't really battle it out like some people do online."
Yeah.
and those they
people.
could get, yeah. Some of those arguments or conversations can get quite heated, but yeah, no, it's just like I said, we were sitting on deck for just BSing, and again, it just kind of snowballed into this. So
And that's fine. Let's see what happens. It's just talking to people. Let's see. Not
And
arguing.
then all of a sudden, you have a podcast.
yeah,
I'm
right.
like, oh, why don't you? I just go on other people's podcasts. I'm like, I have other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Well, you are welcome back on this one anytime,
Anytime,
Shannon. And
absolutely.
what we really have told a lot of our guests is not only are you welcome back, you're also welcome back to bring somebody with you if you want to be part of a conversation with another person, so that we can geek out even harder. So
No.
thank you so much for your time today, Shannon.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Live long and prosper.
Thanks. Yes. And for everybody watching again, thank you very much for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Again, live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.
Engage. Let the journey begin.